I think I'm really good because I like to stop every few seconds and just go, "Are you okay?"
Did you like that?
Well, I go, "Are you okay?" I just ask that every
every few seconds. Was this good?
Are you? Did you already finish?
Did you finish?
Are you close? That's my favorite thing. I like to every 5 to 10
Every
seconds.
5
I
to
go,
10
"Are you
seconds.
close?
You're done, right?
Did you?
We can go to
Are
bed.
you done?" Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's harder to pick up followers and new fans without the video, but you need the followers and new fans to afford the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Schrodinger's
I
podcast.
thought about me and Mark getting a camera, but then I was like, I'll
That's like for a
I'll have
different
to share it
reason.
with Mark, and no one's gonna remember the schedule, and so it's always gonna be
A schedule for the camera, like this is when Mark gets it, this is when you get it.
yeah,
Oh,
because we don't write things down.
you don't have a joint calendar?
Oh my God, no! What?
Okay, hold on. Okay, wait. Before we keep going, we should talk about the tea real fast because then we need to talk about
Okay.
scheduling as a couple or not you and me as a couple. Though I'm sure we do great
We
scheduling.
could do a great thing.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
So the tea we were drinking today, I'm gonna grab it from behind me here. This is Lemon Meringue Pie Rooibos tea.
Okay.
This is made by California Tea House.
I'm scared it's too hot still.
Do you want to blow on it? Oh, that's lemony.
Wow, that's a lot more lemon than I was expecting.
Me too.
Yeah.
But this is lemon meringue pie tea from California Tea House. It's a rooibos. For those steeping at home, you're gonna steep this at 212. And honestly, because it's a rooibos, you kind of do what you want. I would say like 5 to 7 minutes. I did it for around 6, but the world's your oyster.
I'm not in your kitchen. I'm not gonna be badgering you
You
to
can.
get this. Are you allowed to swear here?
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like, you fucking idiot. You cooked this at 2:14.
Yeah.
Have you no
what
love
a dipshit.
for tea?
We've gotten comments. I had a comment before from someone about my recommendations on temperatures.
Yeah.
And I ignored it entirely.
No, what's interesting about this tea is that it's a decaf, but I feel alive. It has a bit of a kick. Do you all feel that? Do you feel that?
Are you? Yeah. Elliot, the producer, is nodding vigorously. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's giving me life.
I'm like, whoa.
I already had some caffeine earlier today.
Okay.
At like 11.
I have to have like moderated caffeine because it does make me cry.
Makes you cry?
Yeah.
Really?
Like my heart starts beating fast and I'm just like everything. I just take in the world faster.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem. Like
it's too beautiful. It just makes you want to cry.
It can be too beautiful. Honestly, it can be too beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
Or it can be too stressful, which is usually what happens. Like I've had employers and coworkers be like, I can tell you've had caffeine because you're a little meaner and you talk faster.
Really?
Yeah.
I am trying to think if I've seen you on caffeine because I don't know that I've ever felt that you've been mean to me.
No, especially not at nighttime. It's whatever caffeine I've had has worn off.
Yeah.
I have a chai latte almost every day. And
delicious.
I'll have an espresso sometimes for digestive reasons.
Okay,
listeners.
sure. I understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, sure.
And sometimes it really has to be used for sometimes I overshoot that. Sometimes the espresso has become a problem and I'm like crying at my desk about just too many thoughts in my head.
You're like, yeah, it could be anything. You're gonna cry.
It could be anything. Yeah.
You're in a relationship. I love your boyfriend.
Oh, thank you.
Of the two of you, are you? Because I always feel like relationships have one crier and one not crier.
Yeah.
Are you the crier?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'm also the crier.
Aww.
Yeah. Welcome to the cry zone
Welcome
over
to
here.
the cry zone.
It's fun. Here's the thing about me.
Yeah.
I don't cry necessarily on like day to day all the time.
Sure.
But I will, like, if a movie hits in the right way, if an episode of television hits in the right way, absolutely crying.
Yes.
If, like, the other day, I got very emotional when just because I was telling Jess how much I loved her, and then I got emotional and started to cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get real. Yeah, I'm a very emotional guy.
Sometimes kind things make me cry more than sad things.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, so this just happened. So me and my boyfriend have been together for 7 years. Oh my God, what day? It's like
Congratulations.
August right now, right?
Yeah,
we're in the summer months.
yeah. Oh my
So
God. Okay,
our
yep.
anniversary is coming up September. I don't know what day it is. I'll be honest.
Sure.
It's
Who
whenever
cares?
Tessa Vondahar's birthday is. Tessa, write in the comments when your birthday is.
Okay,
And
is
then,
that a friend of yours?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, Tessa, just let us know.
Tessa's no. It's I don't want to say because I'll probably be. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. Okay. Anyways,
It's weird because I have Tessa's birthday on my phone. We've not met.
I know. Now I'm worried she's mad.
Yeah.
Okay. Our anniversary is coming up. It'll be 8 years.
Unbelievable. That's amazing.
Love. And so our parents just met for the first time this weekend. This past weekend.
That's not true.
It is true.
You made it 8 years and they met just now.
We've met each other's parents and each other's family intimately.
Sure.
We both feel in the other person's family, but the parents have not met.
How?
And I'll tell you why, because he's from Florida and I'm from Arizona.
Yeah.
And why would you go to either place without a reason? And they met in California.
Of course. I had a feeling that our story was going to end there.
Yeah.
How did the meeting go?
It was good. It was good. It was very nice and beautiful.
Yeah.
But I did have espresso that morning, again, for digestive reasons.
I know, but you get mean when you're on espresso.
I do. And I was driving there and I was stressed out about how I was going to go. And I was stressed about how certain things would go. And then I get there and my parents, we're late. We're a little late.
You're meeting at like a breakfast place?
Newport Beach.
Oh.
That's 90 minutes away from me and Mark.
Why did you choose to meet them?
Because his mom was with us for a few days. And then she went to his cousins in Orange County.
Got it.
And so it was like she'll already be there in Orange County. So my parents would be staying with my uncle in Orange County. And so why don't we all meet near where Judy is, kind of close to where they are?
Yeah.
So it took us forever to get there.
Which is probably amping up your anxiety.
Yes, we were late. But then my parents called to say that they're even more late.
That's great.
And then it's not though because his family got there early.
Oh, that's a problem.
To get a table.
Yeah, it's a major problem.
And then what was it? They called again. My parents called again to say they were at the wrong location, and I started crying. I was like, I just started crying.
Did his parents go, it's not a big deal, it's okay? Or were they just like, yeah, this is annoying?
I think they were initially irritated.
Yep.
But then when I started crying, then some of his family started crying out of empathy and like could see that I was very genuinely stressed out. And then so because we both were crying, everyone just were like, you know what, it's okay.
They're like, you know what, who cares? Let's get apps.
Yeah.
What meal was this? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
It was lunch.
I think that when you have situations like that, like when parents are meeting parents and this, that, it's always at like an 11:30, 11:45 lunch.
Yes, it would have been a noon lunch, but it was more almost 2 p.m. lunch because of how late everybody was.
How did the eventual meet go?
It was good, but I think it was because everyone was crying.
Okay.
And so everyone was like, no, we have to be nice to each other.
Yeah, you're like, okay, like we all cried.
Yeah.
We got to really rein it in.
Yeah.
Have you ever cried from anything comedy related?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so comedy's never made me cry. Comedy's made me hate my life, but comedy's never made me cry.
I mean, I've had like a bad show and I've cried in my car for sure.
I've had a bad show and like called a friend and been like, is it worth it to do this?
Yeah.
Like, is it worth it? Let me work it, you know?
I don't know if my instinct is to reach out to others when I'm in that state.
You turn it internal.
It's like a little bit wounded animal needs to be in the woods to replenish and come back.
I like that you took it all the way to its rightful conclusion.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say like a wounded animal, and then we went into the woods.
No,
and,
we gotta.
You forage.
Because you can't have any. Can't have any predators following you around
Certainly
in
not.
that state.
No,
you
you're
know?
bleeding.
Yeah,
you're bleeding after a bad show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, I've had some. I mean, I haven't felt unsafe in a while, but I've definitely had shows where I was like, I was so mad and nobody was fair with how that went down.
What's funny is as soon as someone that I'm like, I care a little bit what they think goes, I'm going to come see your show, in my head I go, oh, so it's a bad set tonight.
Oh, like you're people you admire in your life coming to see your show.
I'm like, I'm gonna
that
botch
has
this.
also happened to me.
I've been in places before where I almost want to, like, if someone's like, hey, I was thinking about coming to the show, I almost want to go, no.
I have started to tell specifically family, no, because like they oftentimes family and like really like people who are related to you, who watched you grow up, they think, and I don't know why, they think you're going to talk about them. And they're usually really annoyed when that's not the case. Like in my life. Yeah.
Well, as someone, and I'm not, I mean, you're not like a dirty comic, quote unquote, but you're not a clean comic.
No.
So when people come to see you, do you feel a little, off put because you're like, okay, well, like I have family members coming. I can't be myself.
That it can like feel annoying, but I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? This is what I do. It's not like I invited them to a school fucking play. Like they came.
That's what I do. I invite people to school plays. That's all I do. I'm like, I'm not doing comedy tonight. We're doing just our own version of Pippin.
Oh, just like Mean Girls Junior. Actually,
listen. I love Mean Girls, and we're gonna make fetch a thing eventually. I think.
Stop trying to make it a thing.
We're gonna make it a thing.
No, you're not.
Fine.
So I feel like for a moment it like annoys me, but I'm also kind of makes me want to reel into it more because I'm like, I'm not a fucking little girl. I'm an adult.
Guess who I fucked yesterday?
Well, it's just like annoying to me. Like I've had people be like, do your parents know? I'm like, you know, I'm in my 30s, right? Like, what are you fucking talking about? I don't care how young I look. Thank you for saying that. But I like
great skincare regimen. Clearly,
thank you.
You're looking great. Yeah,
I don't do anything. It's all
that
natural.
can't be true. Is that actually true?
Yeah. I'm going to start doing things.
I'm so upset. I try so hard. And
really?
It's just like,
you look great.
Thank you. That's very nice.
I would say you have better skin than I do.
I don't think that's true, but here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take it.
I'm gonna ask you what you do for it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll share it off the pod. I mean, I've shared it on the pod so many times.
Yeah.
I'll share it off the pod. But
can I say something racist?
Go ahead.
For a white man, fantastic.
No, you know what? Not racist at all. Such a compliment.
Yeah.
I always say Jews bruise. We don't age well.
I don't think Latinos age well. I don't think there's enough information on this. Latinos.
There's no good rhyme for that. Latinos.
They raisin so hard.
Well, so you can.
We're in the sun.
Well,
and it shows.
Is there a good rhyme? Is there a good rhyme for it though?
There isn't.
You got Jews bruise, and then you got other ones, and then
you got other ones that I won't be saying.
I mean, listen, I felt my age. We were at your birthday party. What was it, like 2 weeks ago or something?
I probably.
And I don't remember what it was. And I remember Justin and I were walking out, and I said something, and he goes, "What?" And I was like, how did you not hear me? We're the only ones on the street.
Yeah.
And he was like, sorry, it was really loud in there. And I go, how old are we? Like, I was like, oh my God. And he goes, can you hear me well? And I was like, not perfectly, no. And I was like, it is just because you have to, when you're at a bar like that, it was a lot of fun, but you need to talk over.
If it makes you feel better, when picking the location, my request was no place too loud because like the three of us had different want. I don't know if anybody cares about this. Well, I did a joint birthday.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I did a joint birthday with two other comedians, Lynn Molly and Sophia Zolan, and I felt like
former guest and future guest.
And I felt like I had old lady requests. Like Sophia wanted to dance, and I was like, "Where can we sit and hear each other's thoughts?" Like that's what I wanted. I had a old friend come into town and we met at my sister's restaurant, and then after my sister got off work.
Your sister has a restaurant?
Oh, the restaurant where she works.
Oh, I was like, what?
She has a restaurant.
Okay, yeah, really why not? Cool. Why not? Why not?
She owns it.
Anyone's listening. Yeah. What's your sister's name?
Maddie.
Maddie? Wait a minute, that can't be true.
It is.
Is that really true?
And when
Kari and Maddie?
we look exactly alike. Not exactly alike, but we look a fuck ton alike.
Age difference? Like 2 years apart, 3 years apart?
19 months.
My sister and I are 15 months apart.
Yeah, we were kind of raised like twins, and that can be really hard.
Okay, so she works at a restaurant and she lives out here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But so like we had dinner there, and then when she got off work, we like went to a bar, and honestly, we were just like, "Can you guys turn the music down so we can catch up?"
I was doing a show the other day, and I didn't do this. But for a second, I was talking at this volume, and I almost said into the mic, hey, can we just turn me down? Like, I'm too loud. Like, this is too loud. And I'm someone who doesn't mind the sound of my own voice, but I'm like,
Yeah.
let's just like take a beat.
Honestly, though, a hot mic, if I feel like if a comic doesn't know how to deal, I feel like that sounds compliment to you. It sounds like you understand like the rhythm of how you say things and stuff like that.
For sure.
Because like if it is too loud, it will not hit because they're kind of like this. So
Yeah, I'm a
yeah.
loud person.
Yeah, I hate it when I mean, this is an obvious mistake, but when people scream into the mic, I'm like, come on.
What are we doing?
This is rude."
There are a couple of comics in LA. I would say I would name them. I don't remember their names because I don't know them very well. But I've seen two different comics do this where they put the mic aside and just yell.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
I feel like some people can do that and get away with it, and I'm gonna say his name because but Dana Gould does.
Dana Gould does not do that all the time.
He doesn't do it all the time, but he can do it. But it's usually like he has sussed out this is such a small space that he would rather just put the mic down and talk to people, and often he will get off the stage and into the audience. But he is like a master, and so it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Simpsons writer Dana Gould.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and me. I'd say we're at the same level. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, talent-wise, I think.
Me too.
Yeah, all of us, I think.
All of us. We're basically the same.
Yeah, we're all at that
I mean,
level.
if you just think about it,
yeah,
pretty much the same life experience, same awards and accolades, things like that. Yeah.
Well, I think both of our families probably say, at least I'm sure Dana's does, because mine says to me all the time, why aren't you doing like bigger theater shows?
Right.
Do you ever get that question?
Not necessarily bigger, but just like they really want me to say that this is paying for everything in my life.
Oh yeah.
And then I've had this was a long time ago, but I one time did this show in Arizona. It went so fucking well. So much of my family was there. There was a lot of other people there too. It wasn't like just my family.
Phoenix or like Glendale?
It was. Wow, good memory. It was Scottsdale. Oh yeah, I guess I did just talk about that.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
got it.
In Arizona. But it was Scottsdale, and it was a pretty large seating venue. I did have a lot of family there, but a lot of the rest of the audience was not my family. And
yeah, I was there. We're
like
not related,
a lot of people I don't know. And I literally I only did 5 minutes. I got applause breaks. Like it was amazing. It went so well. And they were so proud of me until they found out that was a guest spot and I was not paid. And then they were livid with me. Like they were angry at me instead of
God. They're like, you come back to Arizona.
They were like, why don't you call them and ask to be paid? And why don't you call them and ask to fly them out? And I was just like, shut up. Like, you just have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of family still in Arizona? Because you said you were born there.
What's funny is I wasn't born there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm mostly from there. I was born. Sorry.
Please sing it. Sing it to us.
I can't say that rest of the phrase. I was born in North Carolina.
No way.
Yeah, and then we were in Minnesota, and then we were in Arizona for 8 years, and then we were in NorCal for 10. So we moved, we shuffled, but Arizona and NorCal, mostly Arizona, we built this huge community.
Yeah.
So those people are almost like extended family to us, even though they're not related to us, because they saw so much of us growing up and stuff, and were there for us and stuff. And then NorCal is not an easy place to make community. So there's one family out there that is like family to us because they watched us grow up. What's up, Donlands?
How many? I am loving the shout outs.
Yeah.
We better get comments from some of these people.
You better
shouting out.
fucking comment.
Yeah.
Donlands. They will actually. Yeah.
Good. Wait, so why did you move around so much? Like one of your parents had a job?
Yeah, my dad worked in corporate America, which is military life light, and so
yeah, sure. I've heard that's what they say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had one of those positions where they just moved you, and
so did you have to keep changing schools?
What's fun is that we didn't really do it that much, but enough to scar your personality for sure.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I blame that's why that I became a performer. I'm we're fine. It was all good. We had a good childhood. Honestly, we had a good childhood, all things considered. But that is definitely why I think I got into performing, was like moving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long did you spend in Minnesota?
Oh, not long. Maybe like, I don't even know.
I lived there for a couple years. Is the only reason I'm asking.
Where did you live?
Not as a I love this. You're like, let me sort out the couch. I lived in uptown Minneapolis.
Aw, nice.
Yeah, but that was as an adult.
What were you doing there?
I had been in a band.
What?
Yeah. I was a musician for a very long time. Yeah. Yeah, I played jazz guitar for 15 years. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, now you definitely should be friends with Mark. He's a musician. He loves like other musicians.
Well, I
and
feel like Mark
jamming
is
and
probably
stuff.
so I don't play anymore, but I am sure Mark is way more talented than me.
I'm sure you're very talented.
Who's to say? But I was into this band in New York. I'm born and raised in New York, and I was in a band over there, and the band kind of fell apart. And it's a whole long story, but like I found out that someone I was seeing had picked up a gentleman on the side that I was like not super stoked about.
Yeah, I also don't get stoked when people cheat on me.
Yeah. Well, we were like on again, off again, but I
Yeah.
thought we were on again, and it turns out, that switch was right in between on and off in her mind, but in mine it was on.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool. I don't know that I want someone kind of alternating between me and another gentleman, so I'm probably just gonna slowly see my way out.
Like this.
No.
Yeah.
Certainly not. And also, I mean, not to say anything one way or the other, but like maybe if he had been like a cool guy, I would have been like, yeah, let's like do this. Like let's both like be in a throuple. But jokes aside, no, he was the worst. And
jokes aside, I hate him. But wait, what am I saying? Oh,
yes.
Polyamory, I just don't want to deal with mess. I don't want to deal with people's feelings.
Oh, you mean an emotional mess? I thought you meant a physical mess. And I was like, ooh.
Also,
I mean, it's messy.
Nobody finishes in the condom. Like,
no. Who
sorry.
does? Who does?
Yeah.
My big issue, to your point about an emotional mess, like being in a relationship, this is going to sound negative, but it's not. Being in a relationship is essentially finding someone whose baggage is suitable for you.
I agree.
And I cannot imagine you're dealing with more than one person's baggage.
I've tried to write about this too, that kind of like getting intimate with someone is like trying on clothes in the store at the fitting room. And it's like hard, you're sweating.
Yeah.
And there's a really good chance it's not going to fit.
Yeah.
And then it's just like awkward. You just have to put your clothes back on and be like, well, bye, I guess.
We tried.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work. And like, it's just like 9 out of 10 times, it's not that great. Like the hookup, because you don't know each other.
No.
And I don't mean to say, I'm sure you're a great lover. I'm sure you're a great lover.
So everyone heard it here first. Kari said she's sure I'm a good lover. Yeah,
but
great
a
lover.
lot of the times, random men are not great lovers. And it's just like, when you find one, you just gotta dig in.
Yeah.
And hold on.
I think I'm really good because I like to stop every few seconds and just go, "Are you okay?"
Did you like that?
Well, I go, "Are you okay?" I just ask that every
few seconds. Was this good?
Did you already finish?
Did you finish?
Are you close? That's my favorite thing. I like to every 5 to 10 seconds. I go, "Are you close?"
You're done, right?
Did you?
We can go to bed.
Are you done? I need to take a call. Are you almost?
I love the idea that you're a lover that needs validation every few moments.
Is that okay?
Is this good?
Yeah. Are you doing okay?
This is good enough for you, right?
Yeah.
You're not thinking about somebody else.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do every few minutes is just go, hey, you're not, are you still thinking about me?
Thinking about me?
Are you still thinking about me?
Are you thinking about somebody else?
I feel it because I saw on your face, I saw some like smile, and I don't think I'm making you smile.
That didn't feel right for this moment,
no,
to be honest.
This moment, I thought you were going to go, oh, but instead you went, and I was like.
Made me think that you're probably thinking about a different moment.
She was thinking about Mr. Turner, is what I think in that moment.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's attractive.
Is
there a hair that's in there? I love that you just keep.
I'm thinking of like hot moments. Michael J. Fox, when he is like Sprite, I would have loved to have had that.
Climb up that tree, or
you don't have to climb very far.
No,
and that's what
little
works.
sprout. It's a sprout. This was like a child. Did you have a childhood crush on Michael J. Fox?
I would say a late teen crush. I discovered him late, and I was like,
Oh.
I'm small, he's small. We should press our bodies together.
Yeah,
because
obviously.
they'll fit.
I think about that all the time.
I love
pressing my
him.
body against Michael J. Fox. Yeah.
Very I think it was like 21. In the year 21, I recently discovered the movie Mikey and Me on Disney Plus. Shut out Michael J. Fox's film career, where he helps this little Puerto Rican chick. She's like a little girl, and he helps her get into kid acting to help her family. He's like a total angel in it.
This is a movie, not a documentary.
This isn't, a documentary.
Okay.
And
because it's called Mikey and Me, so I'm thinking like Michael J.
It's that
Fox.
time, and it was that time where they just let famous people keep their names and shit.
Yep,
You know?
Sure.
And
remember that very well.
Yeah, and I was watching it, and I was just so turned on the whole time. I was just like wildly. It's not a sexual movie. But I was just so into, and then Mark came to bed and I said, quote, "Don't touch me, Michael is on." And I was just like, so like, I'm thinking of buying him a puffer vest, like Back to the Future.
Yeah, I knew what you were getting at. Yeah, the orange one.
He has one time pulled out a red guitar and sang Johnny Be Good.
Are you kidding me?
No.
He
did it all by himself. Bless you. Bless you.
Excuse me. I got so flustered I sneezed.
Yeah, that happens to me too when I also get turned on.
When I get turned on, I sneeze. Do you not? You don't do that all the time?
I do it. Yeah.
And then
really confuses people. But I'm like, I feel like I'm being really clear right now.
Well, then I follow up. I go, "Are you okay?"
Are you okay?
I follow up with that.
Were you thinking about me just now?
Yeah, definitely not. Are you ready for the first segment?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
The first segment is called the Newly Friend Game. It's like the Newlywed Game, but we're friends. Here's how it's
really
going to go. I'm waiting for the day I say that on this pod, and someone goes, "We are not.
We are not friends."
So the way this game works is I'm going to ask you a question. We're both going to write down our answers. You're not going to say it out loud.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to try and guess what you're going to write, and then we'll do the same thing for me.
I also have to hide it?
Yeah, if you can. And I won't look at your board. There are two different questions I'm thinking about for you.
Okay.
We'll stick with the one I was going to do before because I think it's a good one.
Okay. Wait, but I have to write. Okay.
Explain. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to write down your answer. Don't say it out loud.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and write down what I think you're going to say.
Okay, so I'm just truthful about me.
You're just truthful about you. This is just your yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. You don't have to lie at all. So if you
think about anybody else.
If you want to write like you're not a good lover, you can write that.
Okay.
So your question is, you have a podcast about being ghosted.
Yeah.
Okay. The alternative to ghosting someone is just breaking up with somebody.
For sure.
So my question for you, don't tell me, write it down. What is the best place to break up with somebody?
Oh, man.
So don't say it out loud, write it down. But what is the best place to break up with someone? And I'll even do you one better if you can do this. I hope that you've broken up with someone in the place that you're going to write down.
I don't know.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Flip your board on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Oh, I said a bookstore.
I know.
You said
like,
someplace near their house.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't fair. This answer is not fair.
I would never have guessed that. Is that just so you could be like, hey, we're broken up now, walk 5 feet home and have a good life?
It's just like, I feel like being told, well, I assume this news would be hard for me. I don't know.
I think it's hard to deliver.
It's hard to deliver. And I would assume that this person would be bummed. And
of course they would. You're a lovely gal.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And they would need to be somewhere near comfort for them.
Okay. Yeah. That's very sweet.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do the same question for me because I'll share some other information with you. So for me, where do I think the best place to break up with somebody is? And I have a very specific answer.
Man.
Okay. And I'll tell you this is not a hint. I don't think you'll get this.
I don't think I'm going to get this.
I've done this a lot. Yeah.
Well, that was a fucking brag.
Oh no, I just mean I've broken up in the same location. Or not broken up, but like ended things with people at the same location multiple times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I have so many questions. Okay.
And
that is interesting.
Yeah. Elliot just saw my answer, and I will explain it shortly. But
fuck, dude. Hang on. I really want to put thought into
this.
Don't
say it.
I really want to put thought into this. And I feel like I could really see you doing this, but I cannot articulate what this place would be. I'm gonna just
go ahead, freestyle it.
I'm really just kind of throwing this in here for fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready to flip your board on 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh my God.
I can't believe I got that
Oh my
right.
God. Kari got it. We both wrote tea shop.
I thought
That
this
is
was a joke.
correct. It's not a joke. This is the most, this has to be the most incredible get that we've had in a really long time. Okay. So when I lived in Chicago, there was a place about 3 blocks from my apartment called Argo Tea.
Okay.
And it is like a mini chain, I would say. And
Yeah.
if I wanted to end things, if I were casual with somebody, I felt that it was inappropriate to ghost.
Right.
I never felt like ghosting was great.
Right.
I would ask them, I would say like, hey, let's meet for tea. And then I would sit in Argo Tea, which was much quieter. So, there would be no outbursts, no craziness. And just over a calm cup of tea, just be like, hey. And I had multiple ways I would do this.
Yeah.
But like the best way I would do it is be like, hey, like I've had a lot of fun with you and I think we have a really good time together. I just don't necessarily see us being compatible in the long term.
Right. I mean, that's really fair and hard to argue.
I had someone argue out of a breakup before.
Oh, I am sure.
Yeah, not good.
I just think like so many of us are programmed to just like go find that person, And so even though if you're breaking up with someone because you don't think it's going to be a fit, you're really giving them a gift,
100%.
And
I'm saying you're going to find someone who's much more compatible for you than me.
And it's just I think there's a pressure cooker to like find somebody kind of thing,
Totally.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, so you're about to come on 8 years. By the way, that's the end of the newly framed. You can put your board down.
You can put your board
if you want, or you can keep it on.
Or I'm gonna just press it up against myself.
You could.
Wish it was Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, well, listen, I do that with that board a lot. You can probably smell me on there. But so you're coming on 8 years, which means that you ostensibly met in your 20s.
Yeah.
Unless you're 39, which I don't think you are.
No, thank you for not believing that.
I don't believe it. So did you have a lot of did you have a lot of breakup situations, or you found each other early and you're like, this dude's legit, I'm in?
So I came to LA, no one ever expressed an interest in me ever growing up.
Well, you know what?
Ever.
Let's name some names. Get out of here, Jimmy. You're the worst. You should have seen how great she is.
I can't remember anybody. There was one, I don't want to say his name because fuck him. But then,
I never liked him.
Fuck him. And then there was a boy named Jason Roberts that I was in love with. And he was dating a girl that I swear to fucking God looked just like me.
Yeah.
And so I never did anything because I was like, he's taken and she could take me. And so
was that part of your calculation?
I'm always sizing people up for size. And will they fight me? Stuff like that. Men,
I feel
women,
like you could throw down. Am I wrong? I feel like you could.
I can throw down, but I have to get to a place.
Yeah.
So many things have to be checked off.
A lot of caffeine. Yeah.
No, just do they deserve it?
Oh.
And if they do, I'll throw the fuck down. But
I'm not even exaggerating when I say if I had to pick people, not women, people.
Yeah.
That I would be I have to go throw down. Who do I want with me? I might choose you.
Thank you for saying that.
It
makes me so happy.
And I'm saying men or women, you'd be on that list for me.
I think women are born fighters. We have to be.
Yeah.
One time I was at an open mic and it was a woman. She asked, who here has been hit before? All the women raised their hands and none of the men did. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
That's terrifying.
Including me. I was hit not on purpose, but I have been hit before.
By a man or a woman?
A man.
I don't care for that.
We were drugged. He was drugged. It wasn't his fault. We were in a mosh pit and he missed. That got me.
We were in a mosh pit. We were on drugs.
He was on
hit
drugs.
Me. Oh, he was on drugs. You were not.
He got roofied. But he did pick up a drink from the ground, so it's kind of his fault.
What is this story?
And I loved him.
What concert was this?
It was a ska concert. Do you guys remember back in 2000 when ska was cool?
Okay, so hold on a second. I just want to recap for everyone. So you loved this boy.
I mean, I think we loved each other.
Okay, so you loved this boy.
Yeah.
Who is the kind of gentleman
right.
that drinks off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Accidentally hit you in the face.
In the face, yeah.
Who was moshing at a ska
we
concert.
were moshing together.
You were moshing together
yeah.
at a ska concert.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you cut this little snippet of the podcast out and listen back anytime you think, man, I've made all the right choices. I want you to listen to that and go, maybe not all of them.
I mean, we didn't date.
Why not?
Well, the truth is that he asked me out, but he asked me out in front of another male friend who made the moment so awkward, nothing happened. And I was like, fuck you, Nick.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I liked him. He was cute. And we got along. I like kind of a wild energy. And he
wild Jewish energy.
Yeah, Drew could have been Jewish. I don't know.
Well, you were saying off mic that your type is the Jews.
No, they are. Michael J. Fox is also Jewish.
That cannot be true.
It is true. Look it up.
Are you swearing to God this is true?
Okay, he converted, but he is Jewish. He technically is Jewish.
All right. Yeah, it counts. It seems
Paul
like
Rudd
a
is
loophole.
Jewish.
Well, he's definitely Jewish. And by
really?
The way, it doesn't age.
Oh, but you just said Jewish people age.
They do, but Paul Rudd.
But not Paul Rudd.
You know, I have heard of people using snail mucus on their faces as like a new skincare trend, and I think maybe Paul Rudd was on it from the jump.
Okay, can I say something?
Please.
Paul Rudd, to me, obviously looks like he has shit done on his face.
Oh, you think he's had work done?
If you look at him in Clueless and now, he does not have the same face. I'm sorry, he's beautiful, but he does not. It's still a really great face, but it is not the same face.
Should we start introducing a segment on this podcast called
No,
Who's Had
because
Work
I want
Done?
him to love me.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Is he married? Not that matters. It doesn't matter.
Probably married.
You still have a shot. Out of curiosity, have you ever been ghosted? Because you did this podcast with the theme of ghosting.
The pilot episode is about how I moved to LA and I dated someone that I thought was great, and then he ghosted me, and it was just so upsetting and kind of like the antithesis of part of my origin story in LA. And it was also this time in my life where people weren't really fucking with me. I was having not a good time. All these things
socially
went
not
wrong.
fucking with you, or comedy not fucking with you?
All of it.
Okay.
I wasn't even in comedy yet. I came to LA to do theater, and that, let me tell you, I'm looking right at the camera. Don't fucking do that. That's stupid. Don't. Honestly, I'm gonna break some hearts. Don't. Are you Lin-Manuel Miranda? If you're not, don't pursue theater. So
Are you a singer? Do you have a singing voice?
No.
Oh, you wanted to do straight theater.
I wanted to do straight theater. I thought I wanted to travel fucking Europe and do this movement theater. I'm not good at any of it. I just kept telling myself that's what I thought I wanted because that's all that I really knew artists did. It didn't even occur to me that all this other stuff that I genuinely like more, like stand up, people being funny on shows, was really I don't want to say noble, but was something you could pursue, and honestly better than that thought in my head. I was autist. I have to be an autist.
An autist.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't even really like it. I think I spent a lot of time in childhood trying to convince myself I wanted to cry in front of 30 people in a black box when it actually that really hurt.
Having a show.
I mean, as you get older, it's way easier. But when you're a teenager, you're just hurting yourself to cry in these dramatic plays, and you think that's all that's out there, and then you it's not. I can do other things, and it's actually a better idea to do other things.
Yeah.
So I came to LA. I worked with this theater group. They were the worst people I've ever met. Honestly, I've lived in Hollywood for a long time now, and they are by far the worst people I've ever met. And so blew up, and then I realized I probably couldn't do theater anymore. It just wasn't really anywhere near as a tangible thing as I thought. And then I met this guy, the ghoster. I met him at a theater festival, and then we had this hot twin flame fling. And then I feel it's I feel I hear a lot of specifically female comedians joke about this thing where they say guys think I'm so interesting until they realize I'm just depressed. And it really was kind of like that. Where
you're he found me interesting, but I actually was depressed.
Yeah, I was I'm not, I don't feel well. I feel crazy right now. And he's like, it's cool. And then he was like, whoa, I think you're crazy. And I was like, I was pretty upfront about that. I do not feel well. I don't feel like myself right now. Yeah. And then so he got out of there, and that was very devastating too, because it was 2 nails. And then I felt like I got into comedy the way Maisel did, unfortunately.
You took your top off at your first set.
Yeah, but that train ride of her going to her first mic where she is like drenched in rain and everything has befallen her is how I felt entering comedy. Like I kind of came into it like I don't know if it'll go anywhere. I just need to be a part of some sort of creative thing right now.
Yeah.
And like I don't have any money. So I'm going to come to this open mic, and I just kept coming back, and I just kept meeting people who gave me little bits of it. Like people were like, "Oh, I see you doing this. Let me give you this little bit of information. Let me give you this little bit of information."
Move the mic stand. Yeah.
Yeah, just like and I was entering it at a time like kind of like I would say comedy for women is better now than when I started. I definitely was entering it at a time where the LA scene was a bit more male heavy.
I think it still is a bit more
male heavy. It still is.
Yeah.
Maybe I just found the pockets better. But
I like to hang out in the same pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I felt like all the signs have continued to be green in it. Whereas other things I've pursued, it was like I was good at them for a time, but then it felt hard. And whereas comedy almost always feels like the good thing going on in my life.
That's very uplifting.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, I'm not like paid for it. I mean, I am paid for it, but like it doesn't cover my bills.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
One day, Ghost Detective will.
I would love that. I think people would like Ghost Detective because it's like we talk about comedy a little bit up top, but it really is like, what is your story with this person who ghosted you? Like, we want to know the details. Because, like, I think people think because I have this podcast, I have some huge crusade against ghosting. I don't, honestly.
Have you ghosted?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've ghosted. I feel like women have more of a right to ghost sometimes than men.
Oh, hot take. It's a hot take alert. Can we put off the hot take siren there?
We actually had Lynn Molly and Amy
Silverberg. I'm just
said
guessing.
Amy
I don't know
Schumer.
another. I do not know another Amy, so I guess Silverberg.
I love her so much.
Amy Silverberg is a former Steep guest.
She's amazing.
And is a riot. Truly one of the funniest people I know.
She's so fucking funny. I love her so much. She was like, "Yes, I can do the podcast, but we have to end right at 2 because I have to go see Snoopy."
Snoopy the movie?
Yes. She was like, she didn't tell us. She was like, "I really have an important appointment after." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure. It's going to end on time." And then she gets there. She's like, "We're seeing Snoopy with a bunch of 3-year-olds and I really want to go." But no, it was funny because I asked both of them separately to be on it. And they both initially responded, no one's ghosted me. I've ghosted many people. And I thought that was funny because they're both like so beautiful and kind.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was weird to me that was both their answers. And so we ended up having both of them on to talk about it.
They're also like besties.
Yeah. And we basically just were like, sometimes there's just more pressure on women to be liked, especially like by dudes, or they don't want to upset somebody. The guy I ghosted was like deserved it in my opinion. We were not in love with each other at all.
Yeah. I never cared for him, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, in my head, his name was Matt or Chris. I honestly could never remember. It was really hard to tell.
And we still don't know.
I think it's really hard. I think it is Chris. But then also, if he walked into a restaurant, I would not recognize him. We just did not connect on such a level.
He's no Michael J. Fox.
He was no fucking Michael J. Fox. I'll tell you that much for free. He was like,
now, if I paid you $5, what would you tell me? Because you'll tell me that much for free.
I'll tell you that much for free. What I would, if you gave me $5.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to give me $5 first.
Okay. Well, then we're never going to know. I don't have a 5 on me. Yeah. Well, I guess that's where that ends.
This guy was more like Roy from The Office, like Pam's first guy.
Yeah, I know, Roy. No, thank you.
You're like, don't insult me. I don't know what The Office characters are.
Yeah, Roy was just unattentive.
Yeah, that was it. He was like, also, I was like at the time a host at a 24-hour diner that had many stabbings. And when he told me about... No, Kitchen 24 in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And I felt sorry for him and his life. Like, I was like, man, at least like I have like fun and I'm like on my way somewhere. Whereas like he just worked in sales and got fucked up on the weekend. And like, that's it. He didn't have any like aspirations or anything.
Yeah.
And so I ghosted him because he was just like, it just was like very clear that he was like just doing the bare minimum to have sex. And it was like he wasn't offering anything that like it didn't even seem like he'd be good at it either. So it was like,
Sure.
why, this will just be bad for me all around.
Yeah.
So I did ghost him.
It's a Cole's changing room. Yeah.
It was a fucking Cole's changing room.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So bad. We didn't really get intimate, but the stuff we did do was just like, this tells me enough.
Yeah, you're like, I'm doing this, but I'm thinking about whether or not Kitchen 24 is going to change their menu next
No, seriously. I was thinking like, fuck.
But not fuck him, just fuck my life.
Just like, this is slobbery.
Ooh.
This is slobby. Yeah.
That's not a word you want to use.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, because I don't want to be sloppy with the time, because I know we only have you for a certain amount of time. Are you ready for the lightning round?
I'm so ready.
It is 5 questions. They're fast questions. You don't need the board, but you can take it if you want it. Can I tell you? There are only 3 people. There are 3 people that have reached for the board on the lightning round. They're Lynn Molly,
oh my God,
Amy Silverberg,
my babies.
and you.
I'm so sorry. This will be horrible to mix.
I love it. And Elliot will love it too. Probably not though. These are the 5 questions we end every episode with. So even though they're fast questions, you can take as long as you want to answer.
Oh my God. Okay.
Question 1: what is a favorite ritual of yours? So mine is brewing tea.
Aw.
What would one of yours be?
Gratitude list in the morning.
Every morning?
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah.
How many gratitudes?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Was one of them that you're thankful that you're doing the podcast today?
Yes.
Was it really?
No. But it was I'm grateful for my community and you're in my community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still made it.
Yeah.
Listen, if
that was very Ken of you.
if I got a personal shout out tomorrow on the gratitude list, I wouldn't be upset.
I'll write it down.
Does it count if you force your way onto the gratitude list? If I'm if I'm bullying my way in, okay. Question 2: what's a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
Okay, so a few come to mind, but I think the easiest to explain is me and Mark like watching the show New Girl.
Sure.
And so randomly, if we're doing something like kind of spontaneous, Mark will go, just a classic Kari Mark mess around.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do some Schmidt quotes there.
No, he's more of I guess that was a Winston quote. He's more of a Nick Miller, if anything.
Sure.
But I'm also I'm a Nick Miller, Jessica Day mix.
Sure.
I'd say I've had alcohol problems. But also real quick, my friend Mara and I, who we like grew up together and went to high school together, we do a bit where if someone is annoying the other, we pretend to get on the phone with Mary, the Virgin Mary, and tell on the other person.
That is a really good one.
Yeah.
I've not heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Question 3: can you do an impression of one or both of your parents? And the worse the impression, the better. No good ones here.
Oh, unfortunately, I have made a thing of doing my mom's impression.
Yeah. Thank you for wrapping up the tail end of that one, as I've made a thing of doing your mom as well.
I know. She's a whore.
Oh, God. Okay.
So the thing about Letty is that she's Mexican, but the thing people don't know that Spanish speakers actually speak at a high pitch that's kind of in their head a little.
It's falling off a little bit, but
does she actually speak that high?
When Mark met her, he was like, oh my God, she sounds like Miss Piggy. And he like didn't know what to do at first. But I used to do a bit where she would call me to remind me of all the worst things that ever happened to me, just to remind me that someone said
humble.
hi one time. Like, it would be like,
do you remember you got so drunk you woke up in the hospital? Do you remember that?
and I'm like, of course. Yeah, it was fucking traumatic. And she's like,
Okay, well, my friend who came with us that time says hello.
Oh.
Yeah. Annette. Do you remember?
I'm like, yeah, I fucking remember.
Yeah,
Annette.
we could have found 8 ways to get to
She had
Annette,
to look
Mom.
for my pants, of course. Yeah.
Why couldn't we have found another way? Like
Yeah,
the time we
yeah.
all went for ice cream.
Yeah.
Couldn't have brought up Annette that
Or
way.
just Annette says hi would work. I know
Would've
exactly
worked.
who Annette is in your context. Yeah.
What my mother likes to do is she will give me context I very clearly already have for a story. So she'll be like, so Liz and Roy, Liz and Roy who live next door. I go, you lived there for a decade.
It always kills me. She's like, do you remember Lupita? I'm like, my aunt? Yes, I
Yeah,
fucking
we're
know her.
related.
Yeah.
She's my on.
Yeah.
It is very crazy when my mother does that.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, you know Dylan, right? I'm like, yeah, Dylan,
My
Liz and
brother?
Roy's
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
He's also, I got it. And then the best part is she'll be like, yeah. Oh, you know what? What was I going to say?
Oh, you know?
And I'm like, well, I'm glad to know that Liz and Roy still live next door.
What was I going to say?
All the time.
My dad's impression real quick is just...
No, oh my God, give me one.
He's like very... I don't know. It's hard to do his voice. It's just like, he always says my full name too. He goes, Kanina, I was walking the other day and I saw a sparrow. Like, it's always like so slow, and it's really just something that happened.
Is he not also Mexican? Because he doesn't pitch it up.
No. He's not Mexican at all. He's like Lebanese and French and German and stuff. Very handsome.
He sounds handsome.
Yeah,
Is that weird
I
to
love
say?
him.
He sounds handsome.
He's a
to me.
handsome man.
I get that. That makes sense. Well, you'll have to show me a photo later. I'm curious.
I will. Can we put in the... I have a thing where I call him Hot Dad, and on Father's Day I post a photo of him, and I'm like, you're allowed to... This makes you horny. That's okay. If you want to pretend he's your dad because you're having a hard time with your dad, everyone's
Does he care
invited.
that you do this?
I think he secretly likes it. The only thing I worry about is that gay men will get in his DMs and be a little feisty. But as far as I don't know if that has happened yet. I don't
hope
think so.
it hasn't, but I don't actually know.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot to take in there.
Yeah.
Question 4, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there a moment that really sticks with you?
I mean, like every day. Yeah. It's like really bad, I'd say. Yeah.
Is there one moment where you go, that was the worst?
I feel like the gratitude list has helped with that a lot, honestly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because the gratitude list is cool in that you can be grateful for things that haven't happened yet that you'd like to happen.
Is that not cheating the gratitudes? You are allowed to do that?
I mean, there's no real rules. You can kind of do whatever you want.
Listen.
I read a book called The Magic. It is from the Secret brand, and they are very annoying. So sorry about that. But
bleep it. We're gonna bleep it.
Yep. They do have a chapter about being grateful for things that haven't happened yet. And I feel like they could lean into it more, but there are other like notebooks that kind of deal with like 5 things that have happened you're grateful for, 5 things that you'd like to happen that you're grateful for. It's kind of like how they break it down for the morning ritual.
Would you say like grateful I have a Netflix special?
No, you could. Yeah, if that was your goal. I do write like I'm grateful for all the shows I'll have and like all the new fans I'll make. Or I have. Yeah, like putting it in present tense. And I have felt like a difference in like how I present myself and how I feel about myself and the world.
I mean, I feel very good about you.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Now here's your final question.
Yeah.
Question 5 is, what is your favorite tea or comfort if you're not a big tea drinker?
Chamomile.
So you do have a favorite tea.
Yeah.
Favorite brand?
No favorite brand.
Okay.
Unless it's like maybe the Yogi brand. But chamomile is like a fucking drug. Like
it's delicious.
It's delicious, but it's also like I've had like if I'm having a panic, I don't really have them anymore. But if I'm having like a really bad anxiety day, I will chug chamomile, and I will feel like I can feel my heart slow down. Like it is potent.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if you want some lemon meringue next time, let me know.
Okay, I will.
How do you feel? It's a pod. You feel good?
Yeah, it's really fun.
There you
Honestly,
go.
I feel like I was like, wait, let me hold up.
Yeah, let me get one more.
Let me get one more. I'm having too much fun.
We loved having you.
Yeah.
Come back anytime,
Thank
please.
you.
That was Kari Assad. You can follow her on Instagram at Assad Kari Rocks, on Twitter at Kari Assad, and TikTok at Karina Assad 6. You can follow her podcast, Kari Assad Ghost Detective, wherever you get podcasts. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.
I can understand the fear.
Yeah.
It looks like you're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just only have people on for compliments. That's the reason I do this podcast.
I'm not one to be mean.
Unless you've had caffeine. Yeah.
Unless I've had caffeine. Yeah. Then I'm like, why are we in this meeting? I feel like we talked about this. Did anyone notice that we talked about this already?
Yeah, he's got a Jewish face. He will age poorly. Yeah.